Yo, what's up, everybody? It's been a while since I've added some commentary to a video, but I think now's a good time to add some commentary again. You can tell from the title of the video that you already know what the topic's going to be. Personally, I don't feel good about it, but it is what it is. I'm going to be taking a break from powerlifting, not quitting, taking a break. Hopefully I don't have to quit, holy shit. But yeah, I made the decision to take a break from powerlifting, actually all lifting in general. I haven't actually worked out in about a month now. And the reason for that is, one, injury, pretty serious injury, I think. I think the most serious injury in my life so far in my lifting career. Two, I'm just tired, burnt out in general, not only from lifting, but just on the day-to-day. I work a full-time job, and then I started working a part-time job at night. So essentially, I would do my full-time job, work out immediately, then go to my part-time job. I would get back home around midnight, and then repeat, have my day job, wake up at like 6, 7 a.m., start that. And at around 3, sometimes 2, work out, then go straight to my night job. And at midnight, come home, recycle, repeat, So I didn't really have a lot of time on my hands. I'm just stressed out, And number 3, did I mention already? I'm taking a break from lifting. I'm stressed out from work. I just hate lifting at this point. I think that's point number 3. I have not hated specifically powerlifting, or maybe just working out not every day, but, working out consistently all the time. I haven't hated it this much in a long time. This is probably the most I've ever hated it because I'm just burnt out. So I came to the conclusion, now's the time. I think it makes sense to just take a good break off from lifting, focus on other things that are probably a priority for me right now. The reason why I started working 2 jobs was because I want to be financially free. Now, I don't necessarily need a second job. I'm fortunate enough to say that. But, I can't help but feel in this economy these days that you unfortunately have to fucking grind much harder to be financially free. And I really do want to be financially free. And my goal is that when I can be financially free and I don't have to worry about working so much or be reliant on a job, that I can give almost 100% or all of my energy into powerlifting, competitively, especially while I'm still young. I don't want to be grinding out, working when I'm older. I'd rather do it now while I'm young. So that's something I decided to kind of take into account and calculate, if it was worth or not. Because I still love lifting. As much as I hate it, I don't think I can ever let go of it. And if I did let go of it, I would feel like I failed myself personally. I still think I have a lot of growth as a powerlifter, whether that be in competition, and even if I didn't compete, I'm pretty sure I'd still have the goal to be strong on my own, away from competition. But competing's fun, even though it has its stresses. I do enjoy it. So yeah, maybe I can do a full context. So I got the injury, which was the first driver of why I wanted to take a break. I got injured back in March. Lower back, it hurt to squat and deadlift. I could not load any meaningful weight. I could load light enough weight, but nothing meaningful enough to maintain my strength or, nothing to progress my strength in the squat and deadlift. I was able to progress my bench though. So I got injured, took a little time off, got checked out by a doctor, got an x-ray done, spine's okay. thinking it's a muscle strain. Got some PT, so I'd been doing physical therapy, some rehab exercises for my back. Did a lot of core work, nothing really to strengthen the lower back specifically, which I was surprised about that. It was core work, which can help to an extent, but I do think one of the reasons why my back is still healing slowly is because I think it just needs to be strengthened too. Could be wrong, could be right. Got to play around with it. Got to get a second professional opinion. But I've been doing, a lot of core work, work for the psoas, hip flexors, maintaining pelvic tilt, which is pretty important. And I have been doing that in my squats and deadlifts, and it has helped. But then it kind of stalled out after about a month. The pain never really got any better. It kind of stagnated. So this was I want to say 3 or 4 months ago. I don't know how long. That happened in March. And now it's September, end of September, beginning of October when I'm recording this. So it's been 6 months. I got a coach during that time. We were cognizant of the injury. So we were focusing mainly on my bench. And then for squats and deadlifts, we were just doing load management, doing what we could without causing any pain, whatever we could tolerate. But so that went good for a few months, and then the injury flared up again, and unfortunately it flared up, just a few weeks before my competition, and I was supposed to compete at USAPL regionals, the regional championships, and then fortunately I just couldn't see my numbers being worth it to compete. My plan was to re-qualify. Well, hopefully qualify for nationals. I did that last year, but I didn't compete at nationals because registration was full. I wasn't expecting to qualify. So my plan was to re-qualify at this one, hopefully, but then I got injured, so then I switched goals. My plan was just to re-qualify for the next year's regionals. But then the injury flared up close to the meet, and now I wasn't able to see my numbers, hit that qualifying total for the next year's following regionals. So that's why I dropped out. And I had to drop out just a week before competition, so it was very close. So it was super unfortunate, man. I felt so defeated. I still feel defeated. I'm not really happy right now. Still. But it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. The body's important, and I don't really want to be damaged forever. So you got to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. And then the other thing is, while I'm not lifting, I mentioned my goal was to just work and focus on my financial goals. So now I'm able to just put more energy into that. I feel much better now. I have more time on my hands. And I also told myself I probably wouldn't, push myself at work either. I shouldn't really be working every day with a full-time job. It's just too much stress, and it's nice to have the extra money, but for me it wasn't. I don't think it's worth too much of that money, I'm fortunate and very lucky to be able to say that. I know some people, they have no choice but to work more than 2 jobs, for God's sake, but yeah. For me, I just can't handle all that stress and competing, working a full-time job and then another one at night. I just didn't have time on my hands during the day. And with the injury in mind, I just been frustrating, and I've been hating lifting the most in my life. So I also came to the conclusion, with all the things going on, I think it's best to just take a break, step away. I don't want to hate lifting forever, because as much as I hate it, I still love it, And I think by taking a break now that it'll let me love it forever still. So I do plan on, hitting powerlifting again next year, pending the injury, hopefully. But I do have a plan on what I can do. I'm planning on getting more MRIs. Planning on getting more tests done. Probably the next step is an MRI because I had an X-ray done already, and that was negative. No issues there. So I just need another MRI done probably to see what's going on. And then, I've just been doing a lot more cardio lately, body weight related stuff if I do decide to work out. But I haven't actually lifted any weights or anything like that for a good month now. And I was going to give it about another month before I did, but we'll see. So, I don't know what else to say. Did I say everything I wanted to say? I'm probably going to add some more commentary. I don't want to stop making videos. I think I'll still make some videos. I was going to make some videos on the rehab exercises I was doing, some of that core work, and then also kind of document some other exercises I'm going to do specifically for my lower back to try and strengthen that back up. Things like very, very light single leg deadlifts with some weights, back extensions, planks, other stuff. So we'll see. Hopefully that works. I think that's it. I feel much better now that I'm, after making the decision to take a break, at least, I feel like I can at least give my body the rest it needed because, powerlifting for so many years without a break, your body's under a lot of compression. You can have nagging injuries. I remember also listening to, I don't know if you guys know Joey Flex. If you guys are fellow powerlifters, you'll probably know him. But if you don't, he's just he's one of the popular powerlifting coaches out there. He coaches a lot of elite lifters, high-level, national-level lifters, international-level lifters, people that go to IPF Worlds, Sheffield, all that stuff. And he was mentioning that, he knows a lot of people that take like a month break after some competitions just to fully reset and, allow their body to heal. Because when you're competing at such a high level, all these high loads, sometimes you just need that. Especially if you're mentally drained, you might just need that to fully reset and feel motivated all the time. I know he personally made one of his lifters take, I think, about a month off, maybe two, but I know it was at least a month off. No lifting, nothing. And that allowed them to, just have the lifter stay fresh, stay motivated. That gives your body the actual time it needs to heal nagging injuries. Because when you're competing year-round and lifting, all the time, you don't really give your body a full break. Sometimes you just lift with these small little tweaks all the time, and it never really has the time needed to recover. There's something about, like the muscle tissue and, your tendons and ligaments and your joints, that takes a long time to heal. And that month off can make a big difference, longevity-wise, probably. So, that's what I decided to do. Everything was just kind of pointing towards that. So, as much as I hated it, I low-key cried. You know what? I actually cried. I'm not even gonna lie. I felt so defeated, quitting, especially dropping out of competition too. It's different when you're competing versus, recreational, or not to say that lifting recreational isn't hard. It's just, maybe my fellow competitors will know, but there's a different aspect when you have a certain goal for yourself that you set for for competing. I hope that didn't sound rude to anyone. It's different when you're competing versus when I just used to lift recreationally, you know. It was, I can't tell what was more fun or what was more stressful. I think competition's more stressful, or maybe I'm just taking it too seriously, but that's where my mindset is. So after I decided to, you know, pull out of the competition and just take a break, it hurt my pride a lot for sure, not gonna lie. So yeah, you know, I'm just feeling emotionally drained from it, and physically tired, mentally tired from everything going on, you know, life, work, working out all the time. But yeah, like I said, you got to take one step back to take two steps forward sometimes, or, you know, it's okay to step back and then come back to things later. And again, hopefully, I think this is what I need to continue to love powerlifting in general, just a break. I already miss it, man. 4 weeks out, I feel like it's been fucking forever. I feel like it's been 2 or 3 months, honestly. Time's been moving by so slow. Now I have so much time, it's crazy. But yeah, so that's a positive. You know, I'm itching to get back, which is good. Like, I want to get back and just work out every day. That's good. But first, I got to focus on the injury. And I don't really want to get back into competitive lifting until my back is 100%, or that I know I can continue with lifting and my back will reach 100% again. You know, my back feels like it's still at 30, 40% maybe. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'll probably post videos again. I think I mentioned that already. I'll probably post videos of some rehab work and my thoughts on other things and certain things to do for my back. Might even just friggin' post clips again and commentate just like this and talk about life. Certain things with lifting. I was thinking about it. I don't think a lot of people really talk about the mental aspect of powerlifting. For those who want to get strong personally, and then also if you have a goal for competition, like, you know, placing top 3, going to nationals, internationals, or, you know, just being or staying competitive, you know. So, I mean, those are all things that can affect a lifter mentally, and at least for me, it certainly does, and I try not to let that hit me. But, it's really hard. No one really talks about it. So I'm just thinking about video ideas. So you might see those pop up. I'm definitely not going to stop making vids. I know it's definitely going to stop, or uploads are going to slow down because I'm not lifting. I don't really have a lot of content. And I kind of just need a break in general. But I'll probably upload maybe at least once a month. I plan on maybe every 2 weeks uploading something like this where I just commentate. Maybe I'll commentate while I go on my usual walk and cardio routine. That's what I've been doing lately for my back. It's been working great. Don't sleep on cardio. Really helps recovery, guys. But I think there's a bunch of clips left over in this video. I'll probably just let them play out. But that is pretty much it. You know, thanks for understanding, guys. My very small audience. Hopefully this pops off one day and I can make some sort of passive income, or who knows, one day maybe I can quit my my actual job. Probably not going to happen though, but whatever. All right. Deuces, guys. Peace. Damn.